Good day and welcome back to another Dbz Dokkan battle video. So in this video we are going to take a look at the latest story event that has recently been added to Dbz Dokkan Battle Global, and this is Garlic Jr. Attacks Demonic Threat. So this is a new story event. It's got a couple stages and a couple new things added with it, but it also features a brand new free-to-play unit, and you know how much I love those. So obviously stage 1, couple awakening medals. Stage 2, we get a new free-to-play Piccolo. We have a stage 3 where we get a couple more awakening medals. Stage 4 where we get some training items, and stage 5 where we get training locations, which is always a nice added bonus. Piccolo is a new free-to-play unit that has attack and defense of 70%, gains an additional attack and defense when he is with a Kid Gohan unit, and well, he also raises the attack and defense of Heavenly Events allies. So pretty cool. The Heavenly Events category is the brand new category that came out with the AGL Kid Gohan. Of course, there are some missions involved, mainly just raising Piccolo's SA to level 10, and you get a copy of Piccolo for free when you clear the second stage on Z-Hard. So 5 stages, of course, 2 difficulties. That means 10 stones, so nice little pick-me-up from the event. In terms of bonus for the event, you can use Heavenly Event category units to achieve a bonus. Obviously, in terms of free-to-play units, there's not that many options, and currently there are only 2 leads for the category. So either you get super lucky and you run the Gohan that you got, or you're going to need to run the Garlic Jr. Otherwise, you're going to need to make an alternate team, either based on Kamehameha, or you're going to have to base it on using the Transforming Vegeta, who's a super class unit. You can also use the Youth Gotenks to create a team, as he has the ability to put multiple Gotenks into his team. So there we go. Here are the options. Pretty interesting options. Like I said, it's based on units that have had events occur at Kami's Lookout. So not too wild a selection. Obviously there are some free-to-play options. We have Angel Goku from the Majin Buu saga, Goten, who's a relatively decent option, and we have the free-to-play Vegeta and Trunks, and Goku and Gohan, all who trained in the Hyperbolic Time Chamber. To utilize these free-to-play units, you're going to probably need to use Transforming Vegeta, since he is a Pure Saiyans and Super Class lead, and that's going to enable you to rock this entire team. Of course, that's pretty much it, so let's dive into stage 1. So the event pretty much surmises the Garlic Jr. Dead Zone movie, I believe, which is obviously where Garlic Jr. makes his first appearance. We see here the scene of Piccolo getting attacked, which is always interesting, because if they had killed Piccolo, the Dragon Balls would never have actually worked, and technically Garlic Jr. would never have become immortal. So, pretty interesting from that perspective. Obviously, in terms of most story events, they don't necessarily end up being the most difficult events. Story events are, for the most part, just there to farm some resources, which is how they should be. I mean, we don't want story events to become a monotonous grind that's difficult as well. It really wouldn't be that great a situation. In terms of Piccolo, you are going to want to farm 14 copies of Piccolo. You're going to need 1 base copy. You're going to need 9 copies to get his SA to 10, and then you're going to need 4 copies on top, so that you can obviously push him to have his full hidden potential activated. Piccolo cannot Dokkan Awaken yet. He will be receiving a Dokkan Awakening later on, and he will become an exchange unit, I believe. So it's going to be pretty interesting to see when Piccolo comes out as that. But the Dokkan Awakening will happen with part 2, so you have about a week, couple days from this video to farm up Piccolo and get everything ready for when his Dokkan Awakening happens. Obviously, the story right now is just recapping how they kidnapped Gohan for his Dragon Ball, and then they brought him to Emperor Pilaf, and that causes the events that relate to Goku traveling there to take him on. So yeah, pretty interesting. Obviously now we move on to stage 2, which is where Piccolo drops. Remember, when you are doing these stages, you can use things like Oolong and use your daily boosts so that you can increase the effectiveness of your farm. If you use your boosts or you use Oolong, you will be able to pretty much effectively farm the event and reduce the amount of time that it takes, especially if you're lacking heavenly events characters and you don't have the highest team boost. You will be able to clear the event there. Obviously, the event is now recapping. Eventually, Garlic Jr. manages to wish himself immortal, and then they realize that Kami has returned, or he, fought Garlic Jr.'s dad, essentially. I don't know if they fought, but Garlic Jr.'s dad and Kami were up for Guardian of the Earth, which kind of makes no sense, I guess. I'm not entirely certain as to why Namekians are just placed as Guardians of Planets, or why Kami was in the first place. But he and Garlic Jr. were up as the Guardians of the Earth. I mean Garlic Jr.'s dad, and they basically essentially had a little trial or something. Kami was chosen over him, and that's why Garlic Jr. seeks revenge and to become immortal. Then Piccolo and Krillin rock up, and Goku and the gang pretty much throw the beat down on the thugs, but realize that Garlic Jr. is immortal, which is interesting at least. Obviously, like I said, you can use the free-to-play units, try and stick as many LR units as you can. I think the only LR unit currently right now actually literally is the Gohan LR, the Kamehameha lead. So I think that's literally the only lead available not lead, but the only LR card available for boost in terms of the heavenly events category. So it's a very small niche category right now. Obviously, with the Piccolo, the free-to-play Piccolo, and the upcoming LR Goku and Piccolo from the LR banner that will be coming in part 2, we will at least be seeing something interesting. But yeah, the category will expand, but it is currently very, very small, so it is just something to be aware of. So obviously at this point, Kami is having a nice little chat with Garlic Jr. It's actually quite interesting, these story events, even though I know it's a lot of text and everything and people probably don't read it, but if you're someone who's been into Dragon Ball but maybe never watched the original movies or anything like that, it could be interesting for you to kind of at least see the plot line of Dead Zone and maybe make you want to go watch it. I actually really quite enjoyed the movie, although I think the dub I watched was Ocean dub, because Goku had a very weird voice. It could have been Ocean dub, I'm not sure actually. I think I watched the Ocean dub version of Dead Zone. Maybe someone can correct me, but I watched the Ocean dub version of Dead Zone, so yeah, that's pretty interesting at least. But yeah, like I said, so for those of you who maybe haven't watched Dead Zone, it's at least a nice little rundown of the Dead Zone movie. And of course it kind of plays into the banner and the Dokkan event for Gohan, because obviously this is the preceding events technically to the 2 units we got on the banner. So it is interesting somewhat from that perspective. You can kind of see here that Garlic Jr.'s got his beef with Kami. So yeah, that's always kind of a thing. It is always strange how back in Dragon Ball Saga and things like that, everyone always wanted to kill Kami or defeat Kami, not realizing that that kind of would remove the Dragon Balls. But I guess that was something he did keep secret to himself. So we've done stage 3 here at this point. Obviously nothing too difficult in terms of the stages. You want to really farm stage 2. That's going to be the stage where you're obviously going to get your copies of Piccolo. So really try to make sure that you get that done, because you want the copies of Piccolo out of the way as quickly as possible. You are going to need 14, just remember that. So yeah, but here we go. Garlic Jr. Transforms. He gets fed up with everything and he activates his inner form, or his transformation. It's a bit weird because they use the art from his card, but the card is not actually a movie boss, so it can't be this Garlic Jr. I think that is the one shame about the new Garlic Jr. just that he's not on movie bosses. Would have been really cool to see him on movie bosses as a unit, but overall he is pretty good anyway, and he's got 7 categories, which honestly isn't that bad. The only real shame is he actually doesn't have the greatest linking partner on Heavenly Events himself. Would have been nice if they had even just released like a general pool. I guess they couldn't because it's only one banner, but I hope in future they release a general pool Spice Boys or something like that, you know, just so that Garlic Jr. has someone to kind of riff off of. Even if it's just 2 to 3 links, but they give him some support or something, or gain some bonuses next to him. It would just be nice if he could get like a foil card for himself. But his links aren't bad overall. It's not like they're terrible. He does generally have decent links, plus he has big bad bosses. It's just his key links are a little bit strange, but they do work for the categories he's on. You can find a running partner for him, so I guess at the end of the day it's not the worst situation, but it's definitely not the best situation for good old Garlic Jr. there. Obviously Goku and Piccolo try their best to defeat Garlic Jr., but they do run into a little bit of trouble, mainly due to the fact that Garlic Jr. is just wham. He is just mega strong, and he's immortal, so kind of a big issue for them. To get rid of everyone, Garlic Jr. opens up the Dead Zone, which kind of is a play. I think it was based on, you know, from the Null Void from the Superman movies and everything like that. So I do think it's based on that, and Garlic Jr. does get sealed away eventually by Gohan. Gohan activates his hidden power for like the first time ever. So pretty cool. Obviously I think that's the first time we see Gohan being referenced as having this like hidden strength as in this movie, where he kind of like pushes Garlic Jr. into the Dead Zone because he sees him like beating up his dad. So pretty cool from that aspect. But yeah, so this event in total 5 stages, stone for each difficulty, so 10 stones. Always cool, I guess. Nothing really crazy. Honestly, the Piccolo is pretty cool, but there's nothing else from this event. Doesn't even have a lot of missions or anything. So farm your Piccolo and then push on. We do get this nice little ending bit here with Gohan finally defeating good old Garlic Jr. And that's really much it for the Dead Zone. Gohan has one of his rage out moments and essentially pushes Garlic Jr. into the Dead Zone, but he will return later on. His arc from Dragon Ball Z, interestingly enough, is actually considered filler. It's not canon in any single way. So even though we obviously now got a card for it and everything, it's not actually canon. So it doesn't technically happen. It was anime only filler arc. So that's pretty interesting, I guess. But beyond that, that's it for the entire story event. All 5 stages done. Remember to do them on normal difficulty as well, or hard difficulty, or the lower difficulty as well. You want to make sure that you get all of the stones. And then in terms of missions, we did finish the one mission by doing the stage 2 on Z hard, but you want to make sure that you get Piccolo's SA to 10 so that you can get that last little stone from the missions. Piccolo himself, remember you're going to need 14 copies in total, 4 for hidden potential and 10, well, 1 base copy and 9 to get his SA to 10. But yeah, beyond that, everything pretty straightforward. Piccolo's a Heavenly Events category support, so he's going to help out the new category, and it's always nice to kind of see them bring out free-to-play units that support these smaller categories. But that's going to be it from me, guys. Let me know down in the comments down below how you've been finding the event, have you finished farming Piccolo or not, and how you're finding the campaign overall. But as always, stay safe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Until then, bye!